Good morning. This is Jason Dean coming back at you for another Film Fanatic show. It's been a while, and I've been kind of changing. I've been kind of changing the format here a little bit with this channel. I the main thing was the main reason why I hadn't been really been on a regular consistent schedule like I've usually been is just due to scheduling stuff. I scheduling conflicts. I just my schedule was is pretty different during the summer, and it has been. So I just haven't had the. Usually I do videos in the morning or early afternoon, and I just haven't been able to do that time slot really. I haven't been able to be consistent about it. And so I've been doing them pretty sporadically, but I'm gonna always keep the videos coming in some way or another. My schedule has now changed back to my regular schedule, so it will be a lot easier for me to crank out videos, which I'm super excited about. And I kind of go back and forth. A lot of the times, I just do videos on movies that I just watched. I been buying this year, 2024, this year, especially this year, and also last year. I've been buying a lot more movies, and I have a little vacation and a break from school and stuff right coming up. So I'm gonna go up to Bull Moose again pretty soon next week. So I'll have another haul of movies, but I typically, got in the habit of just doing reviews on movies that I just watched. And I basically have reviewed all of the movies. I have pretty much finally gotten through all the newer movies that are newer purchases of movies that I have gotten, and I've been super excited. And so before I was reviewing all kinds of movies that I have in my collection, even if I haven't seen them in a little while. But I like to try to keep it focused on movies that I've, new purchases, new movies that I've seen in the theater. So, but I miss it. So I'm going to keep videos coming. There's always a ton of movies to talk about, whether I've seen them or in a while or not. And I mean, movies in my collection that I haven't talked about, because I really enjoy doing the show, and so I'll continue forward with kind of doing that. It will be a little bit more of a different schedule. I probably won't do videos every day for that reason, but today's show's on a movie that I actually been wanting to talk about for a very, very long time. It's one of the greatest action movies, war movies, or if you want to call it submarine movies, and that is the iconic Das Boot. An incredible masterpiece of a film. I only have this on DVD. It's a Wolfgang Peterson film. Amazing director. This is just a stunning movie. Kind of a monumental achievement in the world of cinema. It's probably the greatest submarine movie. You have other classic movies. It is kind of a genre. Movies like the Hunt for Red October with Sean Connery, which is an amazing film. But Das Boot is just a next level kind of a movie. It's such a classic. It is definitely a movie that I should get on Blu-ray. I just haven't gotten it yet. I'm actually very, very happy with this copy of this film. I've had this edition for a very, very long time. This movie came out in 1981 too. I always forget how it's wicked old school by today's standards. And it's basically about the story is basically about this World War II. It takes place in World War II, and this is a German U-boat that is under attack and that is kind of outnumbered, outgunned, and they are fighting for their lives for survival. And this movie gives you such a sense of kind of the hell of what war must be like, and also the sense of dread and the sense of survival. There's such an authenticity to this movie too. It feels like you're in that cockpit. You know, you're in those seats. You're in that predicament. It's such a harrowing movie. It's you get this incredible sense of claustrophobia throughout this movie the whole time, and it's German with English subtitles, so it just has. I think out of these kinds of films, it just has this level of, you know, authenticity, like I said, that is above and beyond most films. It's very gritty. It's a sense of an unending sense of claustrophobia, being stuck in this ship for an indefinite period of time, fighting for your life. It's yeah, it's one of the greatest. It's probably the greatest submarine movie of all time, but I think it's one of the greatest kind of war movies ever made. It's an amazing film. I know even people who are not necessarily, and this is definitely a foreign film. It's got English subtitles, but I know a lot of people who don't necessarily aren't really into watching films that have subtitles, which is kind of hard to believe. That are not necessarily into foreign films, but they all know this movie and they have like high accolades for it and high respect. That it's pretty much the best in its genre. To get this on Blu-ray would be pretty amazing. It would be, I think, just a higher level of intensity and experience. But this particular DVD copy is pretty fantastic. I've had this copy. This might have been one of the first DVDs I ever bought when I first got into movie collecting. I can't remember where I got this. I either got it at Movie Galaxy. Movie Galaxy was like a movie franchise company, like kind of like Blockbuster, that you could go in and rent movies and things like that. And they have been out of business for a very, very long time. So I think I might have gotten it there when they closed. But such an epic movie, the best of its genre. It's just completely intense and completely thrilling from the beginning to the end. Definitely can't recommend this movie enough. This version too is also an extended cut by I think 15 minutes of extra footage that was not released in the original cut. So it's technically like a director's cut, which is another reason why I love this version so much. There isn't a whole lot of special features, but it's all there's pretty standard as far it is in the realm of special features. It's a little bit disappointing. There's not a whole lot of things, but the picture, everything is remastered and remixed, so the sound, everything is so heightened. It's a beautiful addition. So they, definitely buying this on Blu-ray would be even more completely an immersive experience. But such a classic, one of the greatest, definitely the greatest in its respective genre. So yeah, I can't recommend this movie enough. Wolfgang Petersen, of course, pretty legendary director. Kind of feel like his career, I would say overall, like later on in his career, isn't necessarily like really consistent. He's made some really fantastic movies. Das Boot, of course, in 1981, and Troy, which with Brad Pitt, it's an okay film, but it's also, I think, kind of a misfire. He directed The Never-Ending Story, which I forgot, which came out in 1984. That's wild. Classic movie. Really, I kind of feel like that movie, The Never-Ending Story, was definitely a film in my childhood, and it kind of a masterpiece for what it is. I think my favorite film of his, of Wolfgang Peterson, is In the Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood. That came out in 1992. Amazing, amazing film with John Malkovich and Clint Eastwood. Air Force One, which is actually a really good movie with Harrison Ford. He remade the Poseidon Adventure, which I remember being okay, not really that fantastic. I prefer the original by a lot. Enemy Mine he directed, which is an old school film from 1980, 1985. Louis Gossett Jr., which I forgot that he directed. Really great sci-fi movie. Perfect Storm, I think he directed. Um, oh, he also did Outbreak. But I definitely think In the Line of Fire is probably my favorite Wolfgang Peterson movie. I'm not sure if I've done a show on that. If I haven't, I really need to do that. But I would say in his career, Das Boot and In the Line of Fire are definitely his two masterpiece films. Amazing, amazing. So this is Jason Dean coming live at you again for another Film Fanatic show. So we will see you next time. Peace.